fill in effect immediately with about a dime size of the AMR-7.
Bob, I have been very impressed the last few weeks with some of the testimonials you've had. We've had an orthopedic surgeon on here talking about how he recommended it. We've had the sheriff of Cleveland County saying, yep, it's worked for him. We've had a chiropractor in here saying he provides for his customers or clients. We've had a pharmacist in here that says this is a product that really does work. And I think today you've got a very special guest for us that's calling in, do you not?
Well, we have a special guest, a very special guest calling in from Beverly Hills, California. A lady by the name of Carol Connors. Carol Connors, back in 1961, sang the song, had a group called the Teddy Bears and sang the song To Know Him Is to Love Him. She also wrote the song for the Hot Rod song that was very popular. Also was #1, called Hey Little Cobra. She's the only female to write a Hot Rod song in the history of rock and roll. She also is very famous for the Rockie theme song. She is a heck of a lady, and actually I've never met her. I've only talked to her on the phone, but I'll let her tell the audience how she actually come to know AMR-7.
And I think we do have Carol on the line here. Carol, are you there?
I'm right here listening to everything.
Carol, so nice of you to call in today, and such a good opportunity to visit with you. Talking first of all about you, and you have had an incredible career.
Well, things have been very up and down for many, many years. I mean, I first started because Phil Spector came to me because he fell in love with my voice, and he asked me for $10, which not only did I not have $10, I didn't have 10 cents, but he said, if you could get $10, you can come cut a record, because I love the sound of your voice. So I went to my mom and dad. My father had been a jockey. Oh, Bob, what my father would have done to have had AM-7, oh, my God, I can't begin to tell you, because being a jockey, I mean, not a disc jockey, but a jockey, you can only imagine the aches and pains that I watched my father go through, you know.
Well, your voice has certainly put you in the spotlight. I noticed on the Billboard Hot 100 back in the 50s, you were very, very famous. And, in fact, another very important guy got some information about you. A 23-year-old Elvis Presley, when he was serving in the Army in Germany, wanted to get a chance to visit with you, and I think you personally spent some time with him, did you not?
Well, what happened was Elvis fell in love with my voice on To Know Him Is to Love Him, because the record went on to become the #1 record in the world at the time. It's now number 76 of the top 5,000 rock and roll hits.
Wow.
And Elvis became my first boyfriend. Now, I'm going to accentuate one word, and all your listeners, especially the ladies, are going to know what I mean. He was my first boyfriend, and a really special man. I mean, and I just, you know, he fell in love with my voice. Phil wrote the song for my voice, and then I went off a cliff. Wish I would have had AMR-7 then, because I went off a cliff. I went off Mulholland and Coldwater and almost died. Right after To Know Him Is to Love Him.
I'll tell you what, everybody in the world loves Elvis. In fact, we do what we call road shows. We go out to the retirement centers, independent living centers, and I have an Elvis impersonator who does a great job. And, you know, the ladies literally get down on their knees and swoon when they're listening to him. And to be able to meet somebody who really has known Elvis, has dated him, this is quite a treat for us.
Thank you. He thought I had a wonderful sense of humor, and if people go to my, may I give my website? Is
Certainly.
That okay?
Please do.
Carol Connors, but I have to spell it correctly because there's a porno queen and she loves the word Oscar. But no, it's the truth.
I told her the story that when you called me that I Googled you and I pulled up that porno screen.
Oh, God.
And you straightened me out real quick that wasn't you.
No, and I mean, there's so many stories about when I sang for President Bush at the inauguration and the whatever. But it's www.carolconnors, CarolConnors.com. But I forgot my train of thought because when you brought up the porno thing.
Well,
but
I know.
we were talking about Elvis. Oh, he loved my sense of humor. And at the time that I met him, Priscilla and I this was after he had met Priscilla, but he hadn't married her, and he thought that we resembled each other. And in those days, when I was a brunette, we sort of did. And now she's my neighbor. Is that hysterical? We live near each other, actually.
Let's tell the people one more time that website, because I know a lot of folks are going to want to contact you, and that is Carol, C-A-R-O-L. The last name is C-O-N-N-O-R-S. Got to get it O-R-S, right?
If you go to the other one, you're getting the nerve from deep throat, and we don't want that.
CarolConnors.com, a great website. How in the world did you find out about AMR-7?
Well, I mean, it was really a bizarre, what I consider a bizarre story. A friend of mine is a chiropractor, Dr. Mark Siegel. He's been my friend forever. I adore him. We actually wrote something together called Unconditional Love Unconditionally, and he knew that I was having a tremendous. Now, you have to understand, I'm a piano player and a guitar player. So my hands, like if somebody was a football player or whatever, my hands are so important to me. And I was having, it started just a little pain, and then it became excruciating every time that I would use my pinky on my right hand, which you use a tremendous amount when you're playing the piano. I would literally give myself like a cringe. I would cringe because at first I thought I was just, this is absurd. But it became worse and worse and worse. And I'm almost a Christian Scientist. I do not want to take medicine. I'm not into taking medicine. So my doctor said, we'll give you a cortisone shot into your finger. And I went, I don't want a cortisone shot. I don't want to do that. The bottom line is Dr. Mark told me about this, and I said, oh, yeah, right, sure. He said, Carol, please take it and try it. Just try it, Carol, please. And at that point, when your pain has gotten to a point that it is really excruciating, and I have to write, and I have to play the piano, I said, okay, fine. And he left me this jar of AMR-7. And I started to use it. And at first I thought, oh, I'm just feeling things. I mean, it's not making me better. How could something just make me better? Well, guess what? I don't have any pain in my pinky, and I play the piano every single day. And that is my best barometer about this miraculous product that Bob Cleveland, I don't know how to thank him enough. If I ever see him, I'm going to give him a big hug and a kiss. And I'm not real big. I'm only 5 feet tall.
Carol, this is such an incredible story. Listen, we've got to take a break for just a moment, but please stay on the phone with us. We want to come right back and visit some more with you.
Hey, little Cobra, don't you know you're going to shut 'em down?
And welcome back to Senior World Radio. I'm Glenn Howard with Bob and Rod Cleveland. We're talking on the phone this morning with Carol Connors, Beverly Hills, California. Bob, you talk about a testimonial, Carol's experience of using AMR-7 on her hands, being able to play the piano like that. That is an incredible story.
Well, you know, when Carol first called me, told me who she was, she lived in Beverly Hills, and that she was a songwriter, I really didn't. I thought it was somebody, one of my friends, playing a trick on me. So I went, and as she's talking to me, I Googled Carol Connors. I said, oh, Carol, you're a porn star. She said, oh, Bob, you're on the wrong site. That's not me. So I was real embarrassed because, you know, I got a lot of friends. We were always playing jokes with one another. But I know Carol, the times I've talked to her, she doesn't like to really brag about herself. But, you know, I checked her out. I looked her up. I looked at everything on Carol I could find. But, you know, she's got 10 major music awards, 5 Emmys, a Grammy, 2 Golden Globes, 2 Academy Awards. And the big one was the one for co-writer of the theme from Rockie, Gonna Fly With Me. So,
well, not only did I co-write Gonna Fly Now, the theme from Rocky, hey, you, I can imitate Stallone, but one of my partners, it was Bill Conti and Ann Robbins. Ann lives in Oklahoma. I can't wait to call her and tell her about this. I'm so excited. So, yes, the three of us wrote the theme from Rocky, ba, 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 gonna fly now. And And who knew? None of us knew that Rockie would go on to become the physical fitness song of the world. I mean, today.
Now, when you go to different events, I know you do the national anthem, different things that
Yes.
you're asked to. Do they play that song when you come walking in?
Yes. I have a fabulous the yellow robe that says Carol Rockie Connors. If people go to my site, and I've had many of the different boxers sign my boxing gloves, and I come out to the theme from Rockie. And it just really makes people feel good because they feel uplifted, because the song is uplifting. It's uplifting because you can do anything you want to do in life, but you have to be physically fit. And that's another reason why, I mean, I can't brag enough about AMR-7 because when you can't play the piano and that is your life's work, and that is what you do, and you can't do it. Can you imagine when a miracle thing happened to you, and all of a sudden, I mean, I could go to my piano now if you wanted me to, and I could play you a couple notes, and I would not feel a twinge. I would not. It's like I never had any problem. So it's sort of befitting that of all the songs that I would co-write, it would be the theme from Rockie, which deals with physical fitness.
Well, great. Hey, you've written other songs for movies and TV shows. What are some of the other songs you've written?
Oh, well, let's see. I wrote Champagne Wishes and Caviar Dreams, Robin Leach, Lifestyles of the Rich and Boring, I mean famous, with Dionne Warwick. She sang the song. And one of my favorites that I hope you all remember, because he was such a fine actor and such a good man, Robert Culp from I Spy. He was one of the great loves of my life, and when we were going together, I wanted him to feel this way about me, and me him, and it was called With You I'm Born Again. Come bring me your softness. And today, and this sounds like I'm bragging, but I'm not. According to ASCAP, it's considered one of the great love songs of our time. And he did feel that way about me, and I did feel that way about him.
Well, tell us about the dolphin lady.
I went to this, I was in Florida, and I had been swimming with the dolphins. Barbie Benton, you know who Barbie is?
Yes.
Oh, well, she's my dive buddy, and she's gorgeous, and we were honored with Jean-Michel Cousteau, Jacques Cousteau's son. I mean, we are in such pain over what is going on in the Gulf that Barbie and I, whenever we talk to each other now, all we do is cry because I'm just so devastated by this. But Barbie and I, we dive all the time together and blah, 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 blah. And I've lost my train of thought. Oh, I was thinking about the Gulf. What was
Well,
that?
I know AMR-7, you need to start using that on putting it on your forehead.
I think I'm going to.
It's good for memory loss. I started doing that.
But I was saying that that we I don't remember. Oh, the dolphin call.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Excuse me. So I was in Florida, and I was swimming with the dolphins, and I got a call that they were doing a special called Victoria Beckham's Coming to America, and they picked 7 or 8, I can't remember, of the top sort of socialite ladies in town, and they asked me if I would be part of it. So I went over to Suzanne Hughes' home, and they were all like real, uppity and schmuppity, and like I was getting really bored because I had flown in from Florida, and I just said to myself, oh, this is so boring. And I said to Victoria, even the dolphins want to welcome you to Beverly Hills. And, of course, everyone looked at me like I was nuts. And then I can sound like a dolphin. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, we'd like to hear it.
You're not going to believe it, and your audience is going to go, oh, my gosh. So here it goes. I have to think like a dolphin for a second.
You said, I know what you said. I know what you said, Carol.
I know what I said. I said use AMR-7.
That's exactly right.
I knew you were going to say that.
That's exactly right. Carol, when you lose your train of thought there, last week I lost my train of thought on talking about AMR-7 on some, I was going to say liver, but I forgot. And on the air, I said, oh, crap, I had a brain fart.
Oh, God.
And my son got upset with me. He's getting on to me about saying that. But So that's